Okay, so we've covered some simple, stuff that's based around your thumb and what your thumb should do, and now we need to move on to your fingers. Okay, so this is where things start to sound a bit more interesting. Just plucking out the root notes on with your thumb. That will not sound particularly interesting, or nuanced, or there's not much variety there. So now we're going to introduce your fingers. Okay, and what we're going to do here is just your first finger. I'm going to keep things really simple. All we're looking at here is your thumb and your first finger. That's all we're going to play, and we're going to alternate between them. I'm going to stick with the G to C, G to D chord progression, because it's just stretching enough. It gets you moving around, because you have to target the 6th, the 5th and the 4th string with your thumb. And also it can be played with stepping stone chords, so it's kind of suitable for lots of different ability levels here. This is what we're going to get to. Okay, so we're going to begin with G, and we're just going to play root note, that's what our thumb's going to be doing, and our first finger is going to be on the string. It's going to always be on the string underneath our thumb. So we're going to begin on the 6th string, and we're going to play. Okay, this is the pattern we're going to play: thumb, finger, and we're going to do that on each chord. Okay, that's our G. Then we're going to drop down from here. So the same hand shape here. Let me get that in. We're going from here to here. Yeah, if you want to make that a little bit harder, if you're a more advanced guitarist, change to a full C chord. If you're a beginner and you want something easy, it's okay to just go G to C major 7. Okay, but if you can play a C chord, you can change between those two chords, then do it. Okay, that's better practice for you. So what we're looking for here is G, C. Yeah, I'm targeting the root note on the G, and then the root note on the C. Drop down to the D. Okay, that's the tricky bit. Now I want you to spot something here that's quite important. I want you to see the way my finger kind of goes slightly behind my thumb. Let me get in really close so you can see this. Yeah, that's the relationship we're looking for. Yeah, so my thumb pick's there. Notice how my finger's like really sort of under. Yeah, let me come round a bit so you can see. So what I'm playing here from the G note is down. Can you see how my finger's right underneath? It's really important that you get this technique right. Yeah, it's that. Can you see that shape there? That's really important. Close. Yeah, I hope that's helpful, and that you could see specifically the way the finger kind of cuts under. Let me show this to you in a way where you can see it clearly. Here we go. Yeah, they almost make a cross, and the reason for that is that when we introduce the other fingers later on, that's the pattern that we want all of the fingers to be in. So later on you'll be able to play. Yeah, that's where we want to get to, but in order to do that, that's why we're building this up in layers. And if you're struggling with this, it's absolutely fine to play it much slower as well. I'm going at a tempo there that I think will challenge people a little, the kind of standard intermediate player, but not be too far out of reach for somebody who's a complete beginner. But it's absolutely fine to play these progressions very slowly, particularly if you're not familiar with some of the chord shapes that we're playing, or you don't have those chord changes down where you can change them really quickly. So there we go, that's the relationship between your thumb and your first finger. It's quite rare that you would be picking them at the same time, although sometimes you would do that to introduce a chord. Most of the time, what's happening here, a good way to think of it, is that your thumb is doing bass stuff, kind of like if you think of a pianist, your thumb is kind of doing the left hand stuff, and your fingers are doing the right hand stuff. So you've got a bit of an alternating thing going on here. But of course, that's what makes it so cool. That's why we hear such variety in the notes. That's why it provides so much texture, because we're not presenting chords as blocks of notes. where it's like 6 notes, 6 notes, 6 notes, 6 notes. What's happening there is we're hearing individual notes, which is what gives it that kind of twinkly flavour. But of course, to get that, we have to articulate the notes individually, and that's why it's a challenge for people. But once you get that alternating thing going on, thumb finger, thumb finger, thumb finger, thumb finger, once you get comfortable with that, you've got a fantastic platform to build and add stuff on.